Welcome to an all-new conformist peach cobbler. I am Brad Reed. Also, B-Rad Baracus, I think we determined last week on the conformist peach cobbler show. So I'm joined by Thunderlips Nugget. Yeah. And
okay.
Yeah. And then Cameo.
Thunderlips.
Yeah.
Nugget. I like it.
Yeah.
Cameo got the bees, not the bees.
We can tell that this is the first time that Cameo's tuned into our show.
No, it's not.
Then you've heard you've heard Thunderlips.
I might have had you on the background and not heard the Thunderlips part.
Had us on the background for sure.
Hey, Cam, don't worry. I skip right past it too. Because I don't get it. I don't understand why I'm Thunderlips.
I don't know. I feel like, that's something that you earned. And what did you earn?
He didn't.
Or how did you earn that name?
He didn't necessarily earn it. He just mentioned it in our first episode. He mentioned a guy named Thunderlips. And
okay.
And so I was like, well, for a DJ, that's a great name. Thunderlips is a great name for a DJ.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Thunderlips.
Yeah. Perfect. We'll get some drops made for you, Nugget.
It's okay. I don't need them.
All right. We'll retire Thunderlips after this episode. But
give me a cool nickname.
Like Nugs Ferratu. That's mine.
Nugs Ferratu's great.
Yeah, I
love that one.
That's pretty awesome.
All right. Well, Cameo, who is my Nerdz II Men partner, and everybody who's watching and listening probably finds our shows through our Nerdz II Men YouTube or Facebook, Apple, all those. But we do the Conformist Peach Cobbler show because Cameo is too afraid to watch most horror movies. So that's where me and Nugget come in, and we entertain the fan with our horror knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Cameo, in some of the horror movies that he will watch, he actually went and watched Candyman.
I did.
Yeah. So he's joining us to talk about that today.
And you've watched all Appeal stuff, right? Get Out and Us.
Yep.
Right.
I think I'll make an exception for Jordan Peele's work. I'm pretty excited for his. Obviously there's no trailer yet, or I haven't seen it, but his Nope movie.
The title alone.
Exactly. Yeah, I want to see Nope. Like
Nope.
But I really don't do horror films. I used to when I was younger, but after that I was just like, no.
See,
not gonna do it.
But how old were you when you watched the first Candyman?
Oh, when was the first one? When did the first one come out?
92.
So I was 6 when that came out. I want to say I probably watched it like 95, 96. So what's that? 10, 11 years old.
Oh,
Brad,
okay.
When did you watch it, Brad?
Well, I watched it. I'm pretty sure I watched it like very soon after it came out, but I watched it, on VHS. I remember it was summertime because me and my cousins were watching it. We were watching like a copied VHS. Somebody pirated a copy of it. And I would have been, in 92, I would have been like 13. So,
okay.
Yeah. So you saw it later, but you were around the same age. Nugget, how old were you when you saw it first?
I saw it when it came in. I saw it at the Dollar Theater. So I was 12. My sister took me, and I shouldn't have seen it because I couldn't go to I had to go to the bathroom. I had to leave the door open for like a month because of the bathroom scene with the kid that goes into the public bathroom and then the Candyman. It was too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like me and my cousins, it was me, my 2 cousins, and a friend of ours that lived down the road. And we were like, when we started the movie, we were all just spread out, love seat, couch, chair. And by the end of the movie, we're like all 4 of us on the love seat, like, cause we were terrified. And then I might have told this on a different episode, but I had like a skull mask. And so like I hid it under my shirt and I was like, hey, let's go in the bathroom and let's say Candyman 5 times. And it was like completely dark in there because this was a bathroom in the middle of the house. And so when we did that, I put the mask on in the dark, and when they flipped the lights back on, of course, I'm standing there in a skull mask, and they just screamed bloody murder and ran out. And then that freaked me out, so I ran out. So yeah, that was one of the few that like really terrified me when I saw that movie. And then the few like that came after it, I remember watching them because this is the fourth of the Candyman. But I think that they were like, let's make sure that people know that it's a direct sequel to the first one. So one of those deals.
What do you guys think of that? Like, did they need to forget the other two?
I don't remember the other two, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back and watch them, but I don't think I was ever really that impressed. Do you recall those movies very well?
Well, there was Farewell to the Flesh,
Right.
which was in New Orleans.
Right.
Well, I mean, because they're in completely different cities, so why ignore them? Like, they're not part of the Cabrini Green story. So, like, then the other one was Day of the Dead, which was in L.A.
Yeah.
So they could have just like not even mentioned them. You know, they're completely separate stories.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before we really get into this review, and we're going to spoil it, so let's, let everybody know when they're tuning in that don't go too much further. But if you can see behind me, there's a mirror. So I thought all three of us could do it. We could say it 5 times.
No.
Nope.
Cameo.
Can't
Cameo, come on. 5 times. I mean, we're gonna say it throughout the show 5 times, right? So I mean,
Nope.
yeah.
Because we're nope. Y'all might. I'm gonna say the man with the hook hand. That's all.
So did y'all see? There's in promotion for the movie. There's a website you can go to. It's on the Candyman movie website that you can go and say it into your camera, and bees start swarming your face.
Oh my gosh.
The closer you get, and when you get to 5, it flashes. He's in the shot.
Oh
No, forget that.
that would be scary.
awesome.
Yeah. Did you do it? Do you have the app?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
I'll send you the picture so you can put it up.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Nope.
This movie was written by Jordan Peele. For a minute there, I thought he was going to direct it like some of the other ones, but he got Nia DaCosta. And have you seen any of her other stuff, Cameo? Because this is only her second movie.
No. What else has she done?
She did a movie called Little Woods.
No.
Nugget, have you seen that one? I know you're a movie aficionado.
I haven't seen it either, and I was a little shocked that she got Candyman and then also Captain Marvel too.
Right.
So-
Yeah, The Marvels. Yeah, that's her upcoming one. So,
Okay.
yeah. And yeah,
But
exactly.
that shows a lot of promise if Jordan Peele's willing to give her the movie, and then also she gets this right afterward. That's pretty big.
I know that's yeah. So and then judging by this movie alone, I mean, that didn't seem like a second time filmmaker's movie. She's really good, really good. Jordan Peele and Wynn Rosenfeld, they also, and along with Nia DaCosta, they wrote this movie. And so, I mentioned that it's a direct sequel basically to the first movie. But in a way, I thought it was kind of a reimagining, right? Because, the Candyman in this movie is kind of like more symbolic in a way than the original one. And it, like I said, we're going to spoil the movie, but I don't want to give too much away for people who don't mind a few spoilers, but still want to see it, right? But would you agree with that? Like, because it seemed like I didn't either that or I didn't pick up in the first movie that there was a few different Candymen along the way. Nugget, go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, I was a little worried actually when they started the movie. I was like, is this not going to follow the original story?
Right.
Like with Daniel, what's his last name? Tony Todd's character.
Yeah, Tony Todd. Yeah.
So I didn't think it was going to follow that story. And then it slowly unfolds that it's actually Candyman is just a, I don't know, symbolically like, it's many stories.
You're right. And he's kind of like, almost like I said, told Cameo off the air, he's kind of like their watchdog for the community. Like they conjure him up now to stick them on the white people. You see what I'm saying?
The devils.
But the reason that is part of the story is because the original movie takes place in Cabrini Green, which was the projects in Chicago, and like a lot of places all over the country, it has been demolished and rebuilt into like places that are, I don't like, I guess gentrified. Gentrified is the word.
Yeah.
Gentrification. Like this is pointing out, exactly how that goes down, because in this movie, there's no more Cabrini Green, but there is like all these nice apartments and stuff. And that's where we find this lady who is living there with her boyfriend. I don't think they're married, but he's an artist. And I don't think it's like the super rich live there, but she had some money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it's not, the poor people are pushed way out of those kinds of places. Whereas before that's where everybody lived. So
yeah,
right. There are people in that community who are still not happy about that. There are still some that still are there. And I thought the backdrop of all of that in this story was good. Like I thought that was a good way to kind of integrate like the old story and how things are today. And then some people on like Twitter and whatnot said it was too woke. What did any of you guys think about that? Because I think sometimes if you say too woke, that just means you just didn't get it.
Yeah. I don't think it was too woke. I really don't think it was woke in the sense that, I guess it could be woke, but I mean, you're already seeing, the gentrifying of neighborhoods here in Oklahoma. You see
23rd Street.
Exactly. All of 23rd. So, I mean, I wouldn't call it too woke, but there are some, messages in the movie. Just like, when the first murders happened, he was like, oh, they said my name.
Right.
They said, say my name. So, that has been a huge movement with all the injustices towards Black folks around the U.S. So, I mean, I guess if you want to call that woke, then sure, why not? But I wouldn't say it was too woke. I mean, you got to be dumb and blind to not see what's going around, all the injustices that are going around towards people of color right now. So, and if you call that being woke, then I guess it's woke. I don't know.
But in the first movie too, back in 1992, there was some social commentary in that as well. So it's not out of like, it's not like as though they put Freddy Krueger into, a situation where it was, you see what I'm saying? Instead of the Candyman.
Right.
Like,
I remember the original Candyman was seen as like racist. Like the story, like the whole story was racist. And I was like, they actually had a meeting with the NAACP, and they were like, why are we even having this meeting? Like, why can't Freddy Krueger be black? Why can't Jason be black? What's wrong? So it's just.
Yeah. So, but in this case though, because I think we had mentioned this before, Nugget, like in this case, you don't have like white people telling this story. You do have Black people telling this story. So I don't know if like that just turned other people off, but if that does, then that's not for you. And our show isn't for you either. So, but I just kind of, yeah, go ahead.
I would say it kind of reminds me of the whole, when white people were bothered by Django Unchained. I heard a lot of people saying, some of my Black friends that went to go see the movie in theaters, they were like, yeah, a whole bunch of white people like got up and left. And it's just like, why? Like, are you uncomfortable that you see a Black man just, wreaking havoc on slave owners? I mean, it's not just, he's just going around killing white people. These are slave owners. So
yeah,
so it's kind of like, that's dumb.
The only thing like I could see is possibly like somebody going, like my grandma or somebody who thought, oh, this is going to be like a Western type movie, you know?
Yeah.
And then they get in there and with all the language and stuff, they're like, nah, I'm going to leave, you know? But if you're leaving because you're angry about that, I mean, that's okay too. That's your right. But it just seems funny to me, you know? But like I said, it was a little bit of the movie, but it wasn't all of it. There was also statements made about critics, which I loved, because, you know, they end up, who conjures up Candyman first in the mirror? I'm trying to remember.
It was the curator, girlfriend.
That's right. Yeah. Well, they were like making fun of his art exhibit, which I thought was like a really cool art exhibit, you know, because the mirror opened, and then the paintings inside were kind of amateurish looking, but yeah, and then of course the paintings he painted later, they started looking more like some of that art that you saw in the first movie that was like you know, on the walls and stuff. But
I thought that was interesting because there's no, like, he never hears about the mirror cabinet deal. Like, he just makes that part of his art, and that's kind of an Easter egg to the original,
right?
Like, that nobody knew about that. He just did that for his art, and that's a total throwback.
Yeah, because he was like listening to tapes and stuff from the lady from the first movie, and then he interviewed a guy that had been around, you know, and that guy was telling him all about the Candyman and the legend and all that. But yeah, I guess he didn't tell about, you know, that whole thing. And so that was pretty cool. I would like to have that art exhibit in my house. And just have people come over, say Candyman 5 times, and then like have Jonah pop out the window.
The Gimp. Is Jonah the Gimp?
Jonah's the Gimp because he lives in the basement. So which Jonah's 22, so don't call child services or anything. So
that would be hilarious, though.
We heard you're keeping your son in the basement as a gimp. Like, he's 22. Yes, he's wrapped in all black leather, but yeah, he's old enough. So anyhow, but okay, so let's talk about, we talked about how the first movie was so terrifying, creepy, all that. I didn't find this movie, of course I'm not 13 anymore, you know, I'm 42 now, but I didn't find it as scary as I was kind of hoping it might be, but I did think that it was definitely creepy in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it wasn't scary. I wouldn't say it was scary at all.
Now, I did tell Brad this, you know, there were some parts where, you know, I had like closed my eyes right before something happened. So, I mean, I guess it wasn't like super scary, but it did have those like jump scares.
Yeah, there was a couple.
Sure.
There was a couple jump scares. Now, I did like
a lot of those moments whenever Candyman was in the reflection or in the background. That was one of those like, oh, nope. Get out of there. Yeah. But not really scary.
No, bad for that one girl that was in the bathroom in the stall. She was just trying to escape. Yeah. And all that stuff started to happen. I was like, God dang.
Yeah. But like I say, I found it creepy enough. Creepy, just not scary. But I did like the way they filmed like some of the death scenes, like where you didn't see Candyman, but the way they filmed it was pretty cool. And like I say, that when the critic gets hers and they slam her up against that patio window and drags her all across, like that was awesome. That looked really cool.
Now, let me ask you, Brad, whenever they showed the critic, I thought it was Virginia Madsen. Yeah. It kind of looked like her, and I was like, dang, she looks pretty good, but it's a totally different actress.
Yeah, it did look like her. But yeah, I did think, like, of course, that's Jordan Peele, like, letting, or, you know, the writers, in probably all of them in general, you know, letting their feelings known about critics. And of course, she had that biting statement about artists, you know, like they were the ones that were truly sucking off the community, basically, draining the community. And, you know, so when she got hers, like, you were like, yes. And that's what I really liked, because I felt like there wasn't any time where the story really dragged, and the way it started unfolding after all that, like but I felt like the movie was trying to be more of a film and less of a slasher film, less of a slasher flick. What did you think, Nugget?
Oh yeah, I totally agree. It was, I mean, it was in the same style of Get Out and Us and Antebellum, all those kind of movies. It was still kind of the same style. There's some few twists which I enjoyed. Yeah, but not a slasher film.
No. And then like I'm almost thinking like another movie to compare it to, because you like other than just the first Candyman, but like the way I'm saying it's not a slasher would be like maybe like The Shining or something like that, where you got like this great story, and then there's some killing that goes on, but it's not like the only thing that's driving the movie, such as like a Halloween Kills, where I want to go in and see like 50 kills in that one, you know?
Yeah, the more brutal, the better.
So Cameo, like how many times did you say nope throughout the whole movie?
Quite a few times. When it was like going back to the girls, the high school girls in the bathroom, like because I didn't really realize this and towards the end, whereas white people were the ones getting killed.
Yeah.
And so when I think it was like 4 white girls and an Asian girl, and the Asian girl was like, nope.
Yeah.
She said it twice and was like, she was gone. She's like, I can't do this. I'm out.
That'd have been you. That would have been you, right?
No, I wouldn't even said anything. I would have been gone. Like, no, forget all of that. But there was quite a few times. There was a big nope when she opens the door and there's that dark hallway down to the downstairs. Oh yes.
Goes, nope.
Oh yeah.
And then Yaya's mom when he was about to say it, she was like, no, don't do that here.
Yeah. Mm-mm. When she did that, I was like, that's Cameo. That's Cameo throughout the whole movie.
Yep.
How about that actress? She's from the original Vanessa Williams.
Vanessa Williams. Yeah.
And she is 58. She looks like she's in her mid-30s.
Oh, yeah.
Right. She looks younger than Yaya.
She's beautiful. I forgot she was the friend. She was no, she wasn't her friend.
No, she was the mom in the original. She had shorter hair.
Yeah, man.
They even did a throwback to whenever Helen, Candyman frames her for killing the dog and taking the baby. Helen cuts her in the shoulder. They even showed the scar.
Yeah.
So that was even another throwback that I caught.
Yeah, I thought. Well, so we said spoilers, right? We're gonna spoil some of the twists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure before we do. But so as this whole thing goes down, like, were you guys starting to pick up that they were pushing the artist guy? I can't remember his name in the movie, but his real name, like you guys are saying, Anthony, yeah. Were you guys starting to pick up on that he might be connected to it in a different way, like than what they were portraying, or did that kind of like come out of nowhere to you?
As soon as I saw the mom is when I knew it. I mean, up until then, I didn't really know where they were going to go with it, but.
Oh, okay. Because like when I didn't recognize that she was the same mom from the first movie. You see what I'm saying? So, so that tipped you off. And then were you like, ooh, like a direct tie to the first movie, like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Cameo, did you
We're
recognize?
Going to see my boy Tony Todd finally.
Right.
Well, that's it. That's okay. So that was like one of the biggest things. Like, I noticed that the guy because they kept referencing more like this guy from the 70s, because
Sherman, yeah.
The guy that's telling Anthony about all this stuff and laying down the history to him is telling him about his encounter with the Candyman. But he wasn't really the Candyman, right? Like he was just like a guy around the neighborhood. He didn't really murder people.
Right. No, he was creepy though.
Yeah. Right. He was creepy. I mean, he did.
He was living in a wall. So.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Cause he was wanted.
Right. Your son. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like we see like after that guy, cause man, that was the creepiest stuff right there. When that kid's going down into the laundry room and that guy's coming in through the wall, and they cut to other stuff and like that, they revisit that part of the story later. and because you think, oh man, that kid got it, he's dead, But what happened was like the cops come in and they beat that guy to death in front of that kid.
Right.
So did they ever establish that guy was guilty of anything? I couldn't remember.
No, he wasn't. Because he said Burke was saying that, after they killed him, then there was other kids that were getting more
sliced
razor blades
up.
in their head. Yeah.
Right.
So,
which, listen, I just want to put a PSA out there because Halloween is coming. Nobody's putting weed in your kids' candy. Like weed is expensive. Okay. First, and there's a pandemic and, the economy sucks. And we want to enjoy these edibles. We are not trying to give them to any kids. Like, has your kids ever got any edibles in their candies?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to check. Because, if mine did, I'd be like, well, give that to me. I'll eat that. But I just want to put that out there. That is not happening. So, anyhow. But I can't promise that I didn't eat any of those edibles before I saw Candyman. Because I did. So, yeah. I wanted to kind of go back to, Yahya Abdul-Mateen. Like, he's been in other stuff. He was Dr. Manhattan in The Watchmen on HBO. Series. He's been in so many other things, too. What was some of the other stuff we had mentioned?
Go ahead. He
was Black Mantis in Aquaman.
Yeah. And I just seen him every time I've seen him in anything. Like, I've always thought he just has a really good presence. He seems like a really good actor to me. And what do you guys think about his performance?
I actually read that the guy, I'm drawing a blank on his name, Lakeith Stanfield from Judas and the Black Messiah. He was supposed to be Anthony.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which he would have been amazing, but he took Judas instead, and I think that was a pretty good choice. So they got him instead. I think he did a great job.
Oh yeah, I do too. And like I say, he does have like a imposing kind of. He's a bigger dude, you know what I mean? Like he's cut, and so as it went on, and spoiler alert, as you start finding out that he was the baby from the first movie, and then he's now being groomed to be the new Candyman, basically, both by the guy that, the guy that was telling him all the stories was kind of pushing it all along. But then there was like the supernatural element too, because he got stung by the bee and it starts, going up his hole.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you go get that checked out?
Yeah. Well, he did, right? But it was like, he didn't go in time, obviously.
It was like, it was all the way up to his elbow.
Yeah.
Right. They went to visit his mom. It was like taking part of his side of his face. And I was like, dang, man, like what?
I think the reason was because he was obsessed. He was so obsessed with painting and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Things.
When I start picking stuff, my arm is coming apart. I'm going to go see the doctor.
I know.
Right.
That was gross. When he's
like,
picking.
Sorry, honey, I can't come to dinner tonight. I just took a chunk of skin off my hand. So,
you might have leprosy.
I'm allergic.
Right.
Yeah. So that I would have definitely gone way sooner. That was again, like I say, I think that probably just pointed to his obsession with the but his painting got a lot better. Like, I would buy those paintings.
Yeah.
I want to get those in the studio here. And then a big mirror for Cameo.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
So do you think this is a one-off, or do you think that we might get another Candyman?
I think there could be another one.
Because here's the thing, like I would like for Nia DaCosta and Jordan Peele to definitely be involved if there is, but it's like they could like make anybody the Candyman now.
Yeah, right.
Although I would like to see Yahya. I would like to see him be the Candyman, like for real in a movie. That'd be dope.
Well, I think that might be the case, just because. When we finally do see Tony Todd, he says, go tell everyone. So, I mean, why would you put that at the, put that in the movie if there's not going to be another, a continuation of possibly Anthony's story?
So the only letdown that I really had was that it was all the way to the end before we saw Tony Todd. That was the only letdown.
Yeah.
But it was cool.
Yeah.
But what'd you think, Nugget? Were you let down by that, or were you just like cool that he showed up at the end?
I was fully expecting him. I mean, I was kind of bummed that Virginia Madsen just got the voice part. It's just her voice on the tape recorder.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was cool. I was like, oh yeah, we're going to see Tony Todd. Totally.
Yeah.
And there was a couple. There was the Sherman character, and then there was another one they mentioned named Ben something. I didn't catch that one. So I was like, oh, there's like a multiple Candyman going on.
There's a Candyman multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's what they got to do. They got to start connecting all these multiverses together.
Get out.
Then they'll have a Candyman Justice League versus
There's Candy Ham.
Yes, we're gonna make this happen. Jordan Peele, call us. We're gonna.
I just washed my hands. That's why they're wet.
Get out.
I just washed my hook.
Candy
In
ham.
blood.
We need to get Jerry Bennett to draw us up a candy ham.
That'd be hilarious.
Not a candied ham, which is a Thanksgiving delight, I've heard, but we have candied yams. Candy ham. So all right, so let's say 2 out of 3. I give it 3 out of 3. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I give it a 3 out of 3.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it was so good and didn't let down. I was really I went into it because of the reviews. I went into it expecting great, and it was exceeded that. Like I thought it was great.
Yeah,
and I feel like Jordan Peele has set a standard for thrillers, horrors, whatever you want to call it. But he has not done anything wrong since he's been doing these movies. And until that happens, they're going to be great no matter what. Because I'm not going to believe the critics and that's, I try to stay away from critics anyway. Because I remember watching a movie, wasn't a horror film or anything like that. And they were saying, how horrible it was, this is child's play, yada, yada, yada. And I actually ended up loving it. But when it comes to Jordan Peele, if anybody says anything negative about his work, until I see it for myself, I'm not going to believe it.
Yeah, I agree. Same with Nia DaCosta. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing how she does with the Marvels. Because it was Miss Marvel. Then they changed it to the Marvels because they're going to have more of the...
Yeah, they're going to have Teyana Parris, who's going to be Photon, I guess. But she's the original Captain Marvel. But so it's going to have Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel, and Teyana Parris is Photon.
That's cool.
But apart from that, I'll watch Nia DaCosta's movies from here on out, because I think she did such a great job with this.
She actually cites The Fly and Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 as influences on this, which I could totally see because of the transformation.
Yeah,
that Anthony goes through.
Did she say which fly? Which version?
Goldblum all the way.
Yeah,
son.
Yeah, that's a great one. Although I love the one with man, I'm blanking on his name now. Oh.
Are you thinking that?
Yeah,
kill me.
Yeah.
Oh, the original.
Yeah. With what's his name? You gotta know, Nugget. He's in all the horror movies back in the day.
Vincent Price.
Yeah, Vincent Price.
Yeah.
Yeah. His version that had that end scene that was like that cracked me up.
That was pretty hilarious.
But the Goldblum version was really good. That was Cronenberg, right? Didn't he do that one?
Yeah. It's one of his first whatever you want to call it, body
horror.
Body horror. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you would call it that. But yeah. Well, they were talking about. I don't know if you guys heard about this. We're kind of doing like this is really where our CPC Nerdz II Men crossover comes into play. But that What If episode where Peter Parker, I guess, was going to turn into like a real spider. and they were saying like it was too scary, too dark, and I was like, ooh, I want to see that though, because it reminded me of something like The Fly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I could totally see that. That's cool that she. Now, what was her Nightmare on Elm Street 2? Just kind of like, you know, the kids and different stuff happening.
Remember how we talked about how Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is kind of like it's been symbolic of a lot of men coming out.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about that? Like,
yeah.
He's got Freddy is coming out of him. Like Freddy, he's transforming into Freddy. And remember the leather gym teacher?
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of gay innuendo in there.
Right.
And he transforms and, comes out of the closet at the end.
Okay. So transformation. I see.
Transformation. Yeah.
Interesting. I was going to go back and watch the Nightmare on Elm Street movies because for a minute there was a whole bunch of them on HBO Max, but they are no longer there. So I'm going to have to go find another way to watch them. And also the Silent Hill movie, I'm going to watch that because we talked about that last time. I do want to say, since this is officially a CPC episode, I did catch up. I watched the last 2 episodes of American Horror Stories, the ones you had talked about, the Pharaoh one. Really good episode. I really liked that one. And then the house one was pretty cool too, the video game.
Yeah.
And I like how it bookended the whole thing with the house on, episodes 1, 2, and then the last, was it 7? I think there was 7 total.
Yeah.
But Cameo, I know you probably don't watch any. Have you watched any of the American Horror Stories at all?
Yeah, I watched season 1.
Oh, okay.
I watched The Asylum. I can't remember if that was 2 or 3. And I think I got partly through The Coven, and then which one was the circus? I can't remember when.
That was 4.
4. Okay, I watched part of 4. So it's been, but season 1 was the one that I watched all the way through, and I thought that was crazy and good.
Yeah. Well, then you will like American Horror Stories. Again, there's like 7 episodes. The one I'll tell you not to watch was it 5? Episode 5 was Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't like no demons, Cam.
Don't watch that one. But all the other ones, you could watch them. I think because some of them, I think you'd dig for sure.
Okay.
And then now the thing to watch is American Horror Story double feature. Have you watched any of those yet, Nugget? Because
not yet.
Okay, so my plan is for me and you to talk about those on the next show. I've watched a little bit of the first one, but that'll be the plan for the next Conformist Peach Cobbler.
I'm in.
And so if those people who are like, hey, I'm watching this because Cameo's on, because he's on Nerdz II Men, and everybody likes Cameo from that show.
And, do they though?
Yeah. If you want to listen to the Nerdz II Men and Conformist Peach Cobbler shows, you can get them all ad free at patreon.com/dopepods, and it's only $1 right now. Right now, though, it might go up. It's like that
inflation.
Yeah. It's like when you give everybody the good stuff, like samples, and then they come back for more, and you're like, oh, that price just went up, dog.
Yeah. What is it?
Like
Are you talking about the devil's broccoli?
Yeah, the Charles Barkley. But yeah, which we're not giving away for Halloween. So just so people know,
only the kids that he knows.
Well, only the ones that buy from me. But that's a different story. Anyway, Nugget, do you have any final thoughts before we wrap it up today?
No, I mean, I thought it was cool. It was the first Candyman to have a black protagonist, which I thought was great. It's always been Karen's in the past, the other 3.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's a new take, and I love the movie. I really want to watch it again.
Me too.
So yeah,
Me too.
I think there were some things I missed, so I really want to watch it again. And my boy Tony Todd.
Yeah. Well, and then here's the thing: me and Cameo have been discussing a watch along pod where we watch it, and so but we were going to go back and watch the first one because it's been further since me and him have watched the first one. since this one. And so like we might have some different reactions, being that we might have forgotten something here or there. But if you want to be a part of that, you know, that'd be great, because it's always fun. Like when we found out that Cameo was going to see the movie, my wife was like, "Ooh, I want to go watch it with Cameo." And I was like, "I want to be able to hear the movie." So and that's just it's a great time though. I love it. But so I think a watch along will be a great.
We did have fun watching it together. So.
Oh my gosh. I'm so surprised I talked you into those. But
What, is Cam a talker in the movie?
yes. Oh yeah. Oh, he's got advice. And just general reactions. It's so good. So good.
And some people might think, you know, I'm doing it on purpose, and it's really not.
No,
I'll do it
it's
in
genuine.
I'll do it in like regular movies too. Like, you know, let's say a Marvel movie. I'd be like, oh snap, that's so cool. Like when I think it was Civil War, when Iron Man and Captain America are fighting, and they do the where he's shooting his beams and he's blocking it. That came straight from out of the comics. So I was like, oh, that is so cool. But yeah, it's not just, you know, horror films. So like, I'm not like, you know, I'm not talking throughout the whole movie, but if I see something that I like or I don't like, I'll say something.
Yeah. It's always a good time. It's always fun. So I recommend everybody just go pay for Cameo's movie, but pick them up and take them. It'll be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Cameo, thank you for being here on Conformist
Thanks for having
Cobbler, a horror podcast. Oh, you know, when Chucky comes around, that's another one you watch, so maybe we'll get you back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I got some videotapes to return.
I'll be right back. Ow. I ran into the wall.